dots and lines with a third of the cast here, Grace and Red. Really just here to talk about some stuff going on that we're going to be talking about on the pod tomorrow. By the time you guys get this, by the time you get the pod, it'll be like Saturday, but we record on Thursdays, Wednesdays. Don't tell anybody. Shh. Look, what the fuck's going on with Marvel and this reboot possible thing going on? Is anyone else concerned, scared? They've like never rebooted in all of their 80-year history. And all of a sudden there's rumors that they're doing it like in a couple months. What the fuck? And on top of that, for those of you who may not know, we got Brian Michael Bendis, possibly, rumors, coming back after his little stint on the Avengers issue 800. Ah, I don't know. Y'all. I don't know. I got a little problem with that. First off, if we remember the last thing that he did, it was all the stuff with DC. And I don't know anyone that liked anything that he did at DC. He hopped in on a Superman run that was goated and basically cut it in half. And then after that, wrote a whole bunch of like kind of noir stuff, which was garbage. The whole checkmate stuff, garbage. He wrote Legion of Superheroes, and it was pretty much garbage. Tucked his tail between his legs, tried to go indie again, and I'm sure he's doing some great stuff. But there's like nothing that moved the needle as far as comic books went for Brian Michael Bendis for the past 5-6 years. And it looks like Marvel's running back to him to try to redo some of the juice that he had back in 2010, 2011. I don't know, dog. Maybe I'm tripping. I love him for everything he's done. I'll always have love for him for Miles Morales. I was reading his Invincible Iron Man run where he introduced Riri Williams. I think that's actually an underrated run. But the juice is gone. We don't need to reheat old fries. We need some new shit. Like what we're doing currently with the Ultimate Universe. But looks like we're canceling that. I don't know. Are y'all rocking with what they might be doing with the Marvel Universe? The event that they're going to be doing with Chip Zdarsky, the Armageddon, whatever it may be, and I'm open to whatever. I really am. I'm very excited for the idea of new ideas flooding, but it looks like they're bringing back old stuff, and I don't want to recycle. I really, really don't. And on top of that, are we gonna bring back the Ultimate Universe, or are we gonna do a Secret Wars 2015 again, where we just have them join the main universe? Let me get some people in here. Hold on. Yo. Bruh. So if y'all remember back in 2015 when the Ultimate Universe and the mainline universe combined, everyone was so excited, myself included, right? We had Miles Morales finally in the main universe. Big deal. For real. Honestly, big deal, not being sarcastic. We had things like the Triskelion being in the main universe. We had that Ultimates book by Al Ewing. Oh my god, that shit was so goated. Do y'all see that? You see that pop figure up there, bro? Back when Al Ewing was writing out of his goddamn mind and had Galactus actually become the life bringer and bringing new life to worlds and giving a whole bunch of people different. It was fire. Like originally, when the Marvel Universe proper joined with the Ultimate Universe, there was some really cool, interesting stuff going on. And then things like fell off the rails. And I'm saying, I don't know. I remember reading it. That was like about 10 years ago now. I remember how quickly things went to shit. I don't want Marvel to repeat that. in the comic books right now. And it's a shame that the most exciting thing in Marvel is Ultimate Universe. And for whatever reason, we're just crashing and burning it. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Meanwhile, we can't stop singing DC's praises enough. Absolute Universe going fucking crazy. Absolute Batman. Did y'all see the covers? Did y'all see the covers, the variant covers of what Absolute Batman number 15 is going to look like? My God. Absolute Joker's like nightmare fuel. I'm scared, and I'm not even going to have to. I don't live in no goddamn Gotham. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned. Like, Bruce, you're barely surviving Bane. What the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do with Joker? All right, he's got teeth all across those weird little lip things going to his temples. He's like 20 feet tall. He's an eldritch horror. And this nigga Bruce just got an axe. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? I'm excited though. I want to see how it goes down. I want to see how they face off, And Snyder ain't no slouch. He said that he's writing all the way until like issue 38 as of now. Who knows how much further it's finna be? I'm excited. And then after that, we got all this DC KO stuff. I don't know if you guys have been watching the little interviews that Snyder and Williamson have been doing. But boy, oh boy, they're kind of giving up. They're just giving half of the story away on these interviews. Joshua Williamson did an interview with Comic Pop, and he's telling us stuff he probably shouldn't tell us. I'm actually not going to repeat it here. But that DC KO is going to be crazy. Like crazy. The fact that they're going to have tag teams mid-tournament, and we're going to see niggas facing off that we've never seen before. That's all I want. I want my cool superheroes to do cool superhero shit and then have like a meaning at the end, which I'm sure it will. Scott Snyder is going to make me cry a little bit and remind me how important Superman is. And do your thing, King. You know you're the fucking GOAT. You deserve it. Apparently, after everything's over at DC KO, we got DC Next Level, and they're going to keep rolling with like new fresh ideas. They haven't announced half the stories, like half the creative teams yet, but Batwoman having Greg Rucka on it, you already have me fucking sold. I'm finna buy that. On top of that, we got Absolute Green Arrow, which isn't part of DC Next Level, but Absolute Catwoman. I don't know. I'm a big DC dude, but I can't remember the last time when I've been this excited for everything DC so far in a row. Like from here all the way till damn near July, I'm anticipating what the hell DC's doing next. And I know they have stuff planned beyond that, like cohesively. Like Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson are helming this whole thing, being consultants for the entire line. The last time we had cohesion like this, I want to say it was like Rebirth, and that was also the last era where like DC was just outpacing Marvel as far as good stories. So I mean, we're eating, boys and girls and they thems. Dots and lines is very inclusive. But y'all tell me, man, am I tripping, or is DC like really number one in the ranks right now? I know sales-wise, Marvel, we talked about this on the last podcast. Sales-wise, Marvel is like forever going to be number one. I'm not saying they're going to overtake them in that, but I'm saying as far as like genuine like critical acclaim and the streets buzzing and people actually giving a damn about reading comics, I don't see DC dropping the ball anytime soon. We'll see what that Marvel Armageddon event is really about. I am intrigued. Because Miles Morales got that little box that made all of his memories flood in from from his old Ultimate Universe because for whatever reason, listen, Marvel got so weird. For whatever reason, his name is Desmond. The pendulum has swung. For whatever reason, they wanted like nothing to do with what Bendis was writing before. So they had this weird story where Miles Morales, like, kind of sort of remembered stuff from the Ultimate Universe, and then they changed his memory and his origin to like some weird attack in his neighborhood instead of Ultimate Peter Parker dying and that spurring him to actually help people that weren't gifted with his powers. Really weird. Marvel was making weird editorial choices like 5, 6, 7 years ago. You know, their crown gem, they were muddying the waters with his continuity. And that's just not what you want to do. Miles Morales is, we'll have a conversation. Like, I think everything should start running through Miles Morales instead of Peter, which is a controversial opinion, but I have kids. My friends have kids. I'm around kids more than I was when I was like in my early 20s. Most of them identify with Miles Morales as their Spider-Man. And I don't know if Marvel is capitalizing on that enough. And I would say right now, Miles Morales has a way better book than Peter Parker does for Amazing Spider-Man. Like leagues beyond. Okay? Every time I drop back in and start catching up with Miles Morales book written by Cody Ziegler, W to you, by the way, it's way more exciting, and there's way cooler things going on. Do you know what I mean? Like Miles Morales has a. For those of you guys who don't know, Miles Morales has a vibranium suit, can make electric swords, and is the herald of a new African god. Pretty cool and interesting and new, right? Whereas Peter Parker is got a living suit, a living alien suit. Never heard that before, right? Is still broke because the nigga just can't earn any money for whatever reason. And oh yeah, Mary Jane doesn't like him, but is still around him. Great. Super. I don't know, dog. Let me not start shitting on Marvel left and right. I don't know. I'm just a little tired. I want a little bit more from one of my favorite comic book companies of all time. But whatever. Let me just be a Marvel zombie. I'm not buying. Listen, by the way, speaking of Marvel zombies, I'm not buying any of the X-Men shit right now. Period. Point blank. Like, you guys that keep reading this, I mean, whatever makes you guys happy. I'm not here to yuck your yum, but fam, I hear nothing good from the X-Men Revelations line right now. Like, it all sounds horrendous, and you guys keep buying it. Stop. Y'all niggas need help. Stop buying shit that you hate. It's insane. I'm tired of hearing people complain about what's going on with the X-Men line post Krakoa, and they keep trying to buy it. Vote with your dollar. Stop. Niggas is insane. I don't know. What they really need to do, if they do a reboot again, if Marvel does its first real reboot after the Armageddon event written by Chip, bring Krakoa back. That's all we've been wanting. All right? Whether you liked it or not, the stories were more cohesive, and I don't know this for a fact, but I have to assume they were selling a little bit more. There's no way that it was selling worse than it is now when no one's talking about X-Men in the comic books positively. Like, no one. No. Unless you guys want to do more rehash stories and tell me and complain about how no one has anything original, even though we had something very original for a 4 or 5 year span. Ugh. I don't know, dog. If I was Hickman, I'd have put my foot down. They wasn't going to fuck up that ending for me. What do I know? All right. Real quick, I want to talk about some of the stuff that we got going on with manga and anime news. So apparently, manga's out here. I got a slight reverb. Oh shit! Hold on. Damn, did I like my live? I'm trash. All right. So apparently, manga companies are trying to set like a law, like internationally. I don't even know how you do this, saying there can be no Western influence when they're making their books and their media. First off, that's what's up. That's cool. That's what's up. I don't see a problem with that. But what do they mean by that? Like when they sell their rights for adaptations, do we have to do like a one-to-one adaptation? Like, can we not have any American flavor? I don't get it. And who the fuck was worried about changing Eastern media anyway? Like, who the fuck was who's in the background? Like, yes, yes, make sure that Goku actually has blue hair instead of yellow for original Super. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, when manga and anime comes over here, for the most part, it all stays the same. Like any relevant story beats, like stay exactly the same. If anything, like, have you seen the shit that they do in China when people get bloody and instead it's like white, so it looks like people get came all over during battle? Like, that's fucking bizarre. You know, when stuff comes over here, it's pretty, especially now in big 2025, everything's translated directly over. So the only thing I can think of is if like they sell their rights for a Netflix adaptation, but at that point, wouldn't they have a little bit of creator ownership if they bought the rights for an adaptation? I don't know. I think it's so weird that that's been a declaration, like no Western influence. Like, nigga, of course not. There was never going to be. You've been doing fun, cool, interesting, and really weird shit over there for what, 50, 60 years now? No one is changing that. No one's concerned about changing that. The fuck out of here. Shit. They need to change the rules about using their images for YouTube and shit. If you use enough of a manga panel for any period of time in a YouTube video, you might get fucking flagged. Which I always thought that was crazy. Like fair use laws apparently don't translate that well over in Japan. Shit is really bizarre. Like imagine I'm trying to praise fucking Oda for an incredible chapter and then my whole channel gets destroyed. Shit is crazy. All right. Well, that's enough yapping out of me today. I'm about to hop off this live. Y'all be straight. We are going to have a new podcast coming out this Saturday or Sunday. Regardless, we're going to have a new podcast this weekend. We're going to be talking about Ultimate Black Panther because that's about to end. We're going to be talking about what we were just saying earlier as far as like Western influence in manga and how there's going to be like laws against it. We're going to be talking about a couple other books. And on top of that, we got to talk about this Gachi Akuta greatness. Did y'all see this? Y'all see this episode? All right, that's enough spoilers. Okay, bye.